So, have you ever noticed that during your religious experience, every lesson was backed up with fear? Every message had a fear lesson. If you do this, then this bad thing is going to happen to you. If you don't do this, then this bad thing is going to happen to you. So you learned to silence your own opinions with those fear messages. So in this episode, I'm going to give you 3 ways to start trusting yourself again with no fear. All right. So let's get into today's episode. If you're new here, I'm Tamara Tamu. This is the Unleashed Alchemy TV platform. Okay. If you're listening through the podcast, thank you for listening and tuning in to the Unleashed Alchemy podcast. Subscribe to the channel, follow the podcast. Let's get into it. So, for many generations, all right, religion has taught Black women, all right, to never question religious constructs, which is why religion made it so easy for you to forget your cosmic status as the original woman. Okay? That fear shaped you and programmed you to disappear in your own life. How do you disappear in your own life? If this is your life, how do you disappear? You bury your essence. You forget that your frequency is connected to the cosmos. You forget that as a Black woman, you have an ancient past and a right to autonomy and authority at all levels. Religion was created to wipe that memory out. Religion was created to wipe that spiritual autonomy and authority out, which is not possible. It may seem like it, but that's not possible, because if you're watching this now, you have awakened. That autonomy within you has been awakened, all right, because you're watching this video. So, because of the early starts of religion, that consciousness, it spread and it grew until into this juggernaut that we see in these Abrahamic patriarchal constructs. All right. So with religion, let's move into another topic here. You'll see how they all go together. So with religion, a real woman, religion says a real woman knows how to be silent. A wise woman knows when to be quiet. Okay, well, in reality, because every human being has 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, those ideas can be applied to everybody. You can tell a man, okay, well, a real man knows when to be quiet. A wise man knows when to be silent. That can be applied to anyone, right? But in religion, it's only applied to women. This is particularly a detrimental message to Black women because of our cosmic destiny and our cosmic identity. What do I mean by that? Our ancient Black mothers were not born under patriarchal order that told them to be quiet. In the ancient world, everyone went and sought out the wisdom and the words of your ancient Black mothers, to hear her speak, to listen to her speak, because her wisdom, her psychic ability, her spiritual mastery, her sovereignty allowed her to speak with oracles that taught people how to be civilized in their being, taught them how to live. Your Black ancient mothers were the moral authority. And that was made evident by the words that they spoke. So, I'm going to give you a little story, just examples here. I can remember being or having my religious experience sitting in church. And anytime the message was about wise women being quiet and not being so opinionated and not sharing their ideas and not asking so many questions, this message would be for Black women. And I would literally see Black women getting compared to other ethnic groups. And these other ethnic groups were shown as a model of what it means to be holy. Being holy was equated to being the quiet, subservient woman. Do you see that? Do you see the connection here? So, 9 times out of 10, if you're still watching this after 6 minutes, you experience the same thing. So here's what you need to understand. Yes, you have left church. You left religion behind. But you cannot underestimate how those messages and how that conditioning can still be running rampant in your nervous system. So therefore, it is negatively affecting your life. So I'm going to give you another example. So recently, I was at a family function, okay? And in this family function, I heard, some family members in their religious rhetoric talking about the Bible. And I heard someone, yell out, or not really yell out, but saying with passion, it's not about your opinion. It's about the Word of God. That is so detrimental. That rhetoric is so detrimental. And that was one of the arguments used to silence the voice of the Black woman. So before I get into these tips that I want to offer you on how to reconnect with that inner wisdom that you have to speak with authority, I want to ask you this. What is an opinion? What is an opinion? Just by definition, what is it? An opinion is a view. It's a view that someone forms about something. That view is not necessarily based on fact. So, interestingly, this Bible that many religious people use and call the Word of God, it's not based on fact either. It comes from the opinions of bloodthirsty, control-lusting people who decided to steal the prophecies, who decided to steal the oracles, who decided to steal the wisdom of your ancient Black mothers, to twist them, to pervert them, and to rewrite them to uphold this patriarchal downfall and the disruption of cosmic order. Then they created this Bible and labeled it as the Word of God and threw it in people's faces, right along with fear. Not to mention, and here's another side note here, I want to mention that rhetoric is damaging to your ori, your head. It's damaging. Okay? So, how do you start to trust yourself and your intuition again as the original woman? Number 1, notice where fear speaks. Notice where fear speaks. What do I mean by this? Before you make a decision, notice what thoughts ensue. Before you say something, whether you're saying this to someone or you're saying this to yourself, do you notice if you stop yourself from voicing what you want, from voicing what you desire? Do you stop yourself from asking questions? Do you stop yourself from offering an opinion or your perspective? That is fear. So that's what I mean by notice where fear speaks. Second thing is to know the difference between fear and intuition. One of the easiest ways to know the difference between fear and intuition: fear is obnoxious and loud. Fear says if you take this action, then this is going to happen. If you don't take this action, then this is going to happen. And many times that this is going to happen scenario is often the worst case scenario. And what I'm going to tell you is don't ignore it. Look at what the fear is showing you. You're not identifying with the fear. You're not accepting the fear as yours. You're just simply saying, I'm giving acknowledgement to what this fear is showing me. I'm going to acknowledge it. I'm going to observe it. Intuition is, and before I get into intuition, a lot of times the fear is in your head. It's all in your head, all in your head. Intuition is calm. It doesn't always have to be quiet, but it's also not obnoxious. Intuition is direct. Intuition is in your body. And the reason I say that is because when you're moved by intuition, you're already moving in the direction that your intuition is telling you to go before your mind catches up with what is happening. Before your mind says, no, you can't do that. You're already there because your intuition has taken you there. So that's a simple way of knowing the difference. Okay. Now, before we get to the third part, if you want to take that further with really embracing your intuition, I want to invite you, if you have not done this already, I want to invite you to get on the Unleashed Alchemy weekly list, email list, okay? Go to unleashedalchemy.com. When you sign up today, you're going to get a complimentary workbook that is going to help you recognize where religion is still outplaying in your life and what to do about it. Also, when you're on the list, you're going to be the first to know when my new private community opens up. It will be opening up in the next few weeks. It is very important for you to be on the list to get those details because you'll also have the opportunity to get in at the lowest introductory price. You'll also be able to get in before I close it. It'll be closed. I will not open it up again until March. In March of 2026, when I open it up again, the price will be double. This community is not just some, membership that you just casually just look in and, you take a few courses here and there. This is in depth. It is for Black women who have left religion, who are ready to embrace their spiritual technology. You are ready to ascend. You are ready to walk in your identity as the original woman, to reconnect with the ancient wisdom that is in your lineage so that you can begin to use that to see positive outcomes in your physical life. It starts with you deprogramming from religion, which is going to be one of our first live sessions that we do. Is going to be nervous system work. And that leads me to me wanting you to understand that this community, there's going to be live sessions. Okay, all of our sessions are going to be live workshops, live Q&As, live meditation sessions, live rituals. You'll have access to new ebooks that I put out. You'll have access, you'll be the first to know about in-person retreats. You'll have access, which is most importantly, to other women like yourself who look like us, who can come in and freely talk about our experiences navigating life after religion, beyond religion. It's the most important part of this. So go to unleashedalchemy.com to get on the waiting list. Okay, back to the episode. So now we're at number 3. The third tip, the third thing that you can do is practice using your voice with writing, with journaling. I know that sounds so simple, but we underestimate the power of our words, our speaking words and our writing. Journaling can be used to get to the thoughts in your head on paper. As you do this, you're going to begin to write words that your ego cannot conceive because those words are coming from your spirit. When you are putting pen to paper, that is another way for you to connect with your body, for you to recalibrate your nervous system. It is very much a very powerful practice. Journaling also helps you to tap into your spirit, into your own soul, to the point of where you staying tapped in that way is a part of your life. So you don't have to have some special meditation session, which I highly recommend, which I will always recommend meditation as part of your practice. Okay, whatever that looks like, make it a part of your life. But journaling, making journaling a regular practice, you won't feel like you just have to, I haven't, meditated in a week, so now I got to hurry up and do this because I haven't been connected. No, when you make journaling a part of your practice, you're tapping into your soul, into your spirit. Is not just dedicated to your moment of meditation. All right? You just stay tapped in. So, those 3 steps, I'm going to repeat them. How do you start to trust yourself and your intuition without fear? Notice where fear speaks. Look at what it's telling you. Understand the difference between intuition and fear. And practice using your voice with journaling. So if you're new here and you want more episodes like this to help you as you detangle from religion, to unleash your essence, to unleash your power, to unleash your alchemy, subscribe, stick around, comment on this video. Let me know what your takeaways are, and go to unleashedalchemy.com. Get on Unleashed Alchemy Weekly. Get on the email list, all right? And also, don't forget to hit the notification bell after you subscribe so that you can be the first to know when videos are being dropped. All right, so until next time, be sovereign.